All right, I'm gonna go over something in Wyckoff that's from original Wyckoff that you're not gonna find today, and not online or anything like that. All right, now most of y'all, if you're using the Weiss wave or the volume wave, you'll have volume on the waves. It's basically Weiss wave or wave volume. But originally, this is not what Wyckoff used. He used it, but his preliminary studies also included time and price, meaning what he never used volume in isolation. It was time, which was lasting power. Then there was price, which was pulling power, and then there was volume. I forgot what that was called, but basically it's time, price, and volume. So the key point I want to make here is that the importance of time and price and how to interpret it. You could apply the same thing to volume and price, what I'm going to explain now, to time and price. So before I go any further, I want to really give you a deep intuitive understanding to prove to you that this works, because it does. And the thing you have to remember is that in life, right, if you are judged on the amount of work that's expected, usually the question is, how much time did you spend on it? So for example, if you have a big project, you need a lot of time. If you have a small project, you need less time. If you have a big task, you need more time. If you have a small task, you need less time. So based on time, there is an expectation of how much progress. So more time, more progress. Less time, less progress. This is in life in general, right? Whatever you're working on, if it's hard, it needs more time. If it's not, it needs less time. So this is very important. So the input here, the input is time, and the output is the work. All right. Now, keep this same thing in mind, because now what we're going to say is the input is time, and the output is the amount of progress in terms of the move, in terms of the length of the wave. Just like in life, you say, oh, this thing is hard, I need a lot of time. Well, if you get a lot of time, the expectation is you produce something of value that is comparative to the amount of time that was spent. In any project, it'll be what? Time and money, right? So what you need to understand is the input is the time, and the output is the amount of exactly that, the amount of output, which in this case is amount of buying or selling, which can be measured as the amount of ticks that go down or up, the amount of money that goes down or up, the distance that goes down or up. And now I'm going to show you that. All right, and how this is how you read Wyckoff, and I'm sure you never heard of this because it's not explained. It's definitely not explained online. I don't know, maybe the first time it's being explained online because it's just not out there. But folks who know that this is actually another type of effort reward. Amount of effort leads to reward, but it's from the perspective of time and reward. Instead of volume and reward, meaning effort and reward, volume can be replaced by time. So this is another type of effort and reward, but the effort now is being quantified in time instead of volume. So this is not really explained, and I'm explaining it because I know it. Anyway, so what is the input? The input is time. What is the output? The output is the amount of movement. You could also say the input is volume and the output is the amount of movement, if you understand the concept of effort reward. But I'm going to do it from the perspective of time. You can do it from time or volume, doesn't matter, because they're very, very highly correlated. Anyway, so the way you read this is 24, all right, so supply spent 24 minutes and made $4.30 of progress, right? Right here, demand made 18 minutes, $2.20. Supply spent 15 minutes and got $1.40. Demand spent 12 minutes and got $1.60. Supply spent 3 minutes, got $1.10. Demand spent 12 minutes and got $1. Now, what is one thing that you see in terms of the amount of time and the output produced? Okay, I'll show you right here. It's very, very obvious. Right here. Notice the same amount of time, but what's the difference? The difference is less output. In this way, demand spent 12 minutes. Demand spent 12 minutes. What they get for it? $1.60. Here, spent the same amount of time, 12 minutes. What they get for it? $1. You see the difference? Spent the same amount of time or the same amount of effort, but got less reward, 60 cents less. Red flag, right there. And of course, this confirms it. The breakdown after that confirms it. Okay? So now you see the input that was given, but you didn't get the output. So there's your effort reward. From the perspective of time, which in my opinion is just as good as volume, if not better, for this type of tape reading. All right? So I'll give you another example. And you can very clearly see this. Take a look at this. This is 9 minutes. How much is produced? I put 9. What do I get? $1. Here, what do I put? I put more. Not the same, but more. I put more. What do I get? I get $1. So I'm putting more effort and getting shit out of it. Last one, I put the same and I got less. This, I put even more. What'd I get? I didn't get any more. So 9 minutes, I put 9 minutes of effort and I got $1. Here I put 24 minutes and what I get? $1. Notice 24 minutes is more than double the prior input. 9 minutes, 24 minutes. More than double, but no reward. Same problem. What happens? Confirmed by the down leg. So this is two examples of how you read, tape read basically, but from the wave perspective, the Wyckoff perspective. This is different than watching, level 2 and all that. This is a totally different approach. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to see the input and the output. Input and output. If it's choppy like this, just let it go. All right, because it's too hard to read. So what you'll note here, right? You got 36 minutes, produced 240, 15 minutes, produced $1.80. You can't. It's not. You don't. One second. Anyway, here we go. So, anyway, I think I messed something up. There it is. Okay, so that's the point. Now you see very clearly you see effort, same effort, less reward, more effort, same reward. See? But instead of volume, you use time. So this matches reality in that if I ask you to do a project and you say, yeah, I can do it, but I need more time because it's hard, right? So whatever, like that's the point. More time, more. Here you have double. You have from 9 minutes to 24 minutes, but do you produce? No. So there's a problem. Down which goes. So that's how you basically read this chart, this wave chart. You could also do it based off of volume. You know, what is the volume? What is the reward? What is the volume? What's the reward? But it could also be done with time. What cannot be done with time, and requires volume is climaxes, because that requires volume. You could say there's a lot of time, but you don't know. You need volume. So that's like even though time and volume are very highly correlated, that's the one thing that I would say don't think it's much better to get volume. See, over here you have a lot of time, you have a lot of volume because they're correlated, but still you want to use time. Right? So you just look at this, you see plenty of examples. And also, you know, if you're going to do this, right, you need to get some confirmation. For example, market goes up, right, and over here, you can see it goes up, 6 minute, $1.90, what happened? After that 12 minute, what do you get? $1.50. Shouldn't it be double? If I have 6 minutes, I'm getting $1.90, then how come here I'm putting double the effort, which is 12 minutes, and getting less reward, $1.50? I'm not even getting $1.90. It's actually less. And then this is confirmed, because it's always important to get confirmation, because your read could be wrong. So this is the confirmation. Boom. Now you're ready for the retest. And down she goes. You see? Even here, I mean, there are examples here and there, you know, whatever. I can show you again here. Did I do this one? I don't think I did. Okay. 12 minutes, how much do you get? $1.20. Here, 18 minutes, which is what? 50% more. What do you get? Only $1. See? You put more time, more effort, and what do you get? Less reward. You get $1 instead of $1.20. You should be getting actually 50% more. It should be $1.80, but what do you get? Only $1, and then confirmed why and how through a lower low, sets up the retest, boom. So you could use this. You could use this for tape reading, but I want to also explain some of the key errors with the way Wyckoff is used. And people are going to get really pissed off. I don't really care. But number one, using the schematic. This is probably the biggest error I've seen so far. If you use this, you're totally lost. And like those folks online, they're totally lost too. And by what do I mean? Okay, this is what I mean. I go over here. I say, oh, this here, selling climax. This here, automatic rally. This here, secondary test. This here, sign of strength. That labeling is, I just don't even know what to say about it. It's so subjective and so in hindsight that there's no way you could trade with that. It is backward analysis. I don't even know what to call it. It's so weird that it just doesn't work. All right. So if you see that type of schematic and all of that, run for the hills. All right. Really, because it's just, understand the purpose of the schematic was just to identify all of the behaviors, and then what you're supposed to do is know what those behaviors are and then be able to see them in a chart. Like, okay, this is a climax, what do you expect? Automatic rally, which is the same thing as a change of behavior, by the way. So that part, like that is okay. But the problem is it has become a pattern where you're expecting the climax, automatic rally, secondary test, phase A, B, C, D, then a sign of strength, almost in a pattern type formation. That pattern is being forcefully applied onto stock charts, where you see, oh, this is this and this is that. That is the error. To create a pattern like that and force fit it onto charts to make it convenient is wrong. Because what happens during phase A, B, C, D, right? If you do all of that, many charts don't follow that. They just don't follow that. I can show you tons of charts that don't follow it. And the reason is a model is just a model. You learn the behaviors from the model, and that's the whole point, just to learn the behaviors from the model. And yeah, understanding the left-hand side and right-hand side of the range, but it's been turned into a pattern, and if you see that, run for the hills. I don't think that does anybody any good. That's one thing. Second thing is also the bar by bar approach, where you're trying to read every bar. If you try to do that during day trading, in my opinion, it's not going to work. Because reading bar by bar, after 2 or 3 hours, you will see that your judgment decreases. So during the day, if you're reading bar by bar, just after, right before lunch or whatever, your ability to judge, you will see that from Monday to Wednesday to Friday, there's something off. So I would strongly caution against doing that. It's a good activity, a learning activity, like doing the bar by bar to understand the different bars and their behaviors. But doing that during live trading is a mistake, because if you're doing that, you're going to get mentally exhausted, and the market, there's no reason to trade like that. Watching every bar. What you want to do is what David Weiss harped on so much that he put it right in front of his book. If you see what he did in his book, the first thing that's there, you open it up, he says where to find trades, and he draws those lines. So you basically just wait for the market to go to those levels of where to find trades as the first step. I would say that step is a filter, and step one in order to find where to find trades. Other places don't even matter. You should just, the reading of it is pointless. So it's basically levels, understanding trends, and what happens at those levels. And also understand levels, in my opinion, are just important as trends, if not more important, because they encapsulate trend. And they define where to find trades. So, long story short, there's a lot of things that in the online about Wyckoff and the approach of Wyckoff that have nothing to do with Wyckoff, and the approach, in my opinion, is off, especially with the schematic, especially with trying to read every bar. How will you try to judge every bar? I mean, have you seen the stuff online? They're trying to judge every single bar. This is this bar. This means this. This means that. Are you crazy? You're gonna drive yourself nuts. So, the point is, draw the lines, wait for market to get there, then you have to gauge whether there's buying or selling pressure, and then if there is, you just need an execution approach, like how to execute, how to enter, how to manage the risk, how to take profit, and that's trading, right? But if I was to read, for example, every bar here, oh my gosh, there's so much data here. I cannot read all of this. Even if it didn't have the data inside here, I could not read all of it. I'd have to look at the low, the high, the close, the relation to the background, the level that it came from, the level that it's going to. Is this this? Is this that? Is it exhaustion bar? Is it a doji? Is that the doji? Over here it's at, minor creek. That's how you lose money. This will create confusion. This will create uncertainty. This will actually create fear. And this will guarantee you don't make money. If you use that, by bar by bar, trying to read every bar, there's no point to it. Absolutely no point. All right, that's my take on it. Take what you will, if you want. And the more important part of today was that I really explained is the input is time, the output is the amount of distance in price. So 9 minutes, $1. 24 minutes, $1. Big problem right here. Confirmed by the lower low. All right, so that is effort reward. But I've done it from the perspective of time and price. It can be done with time and price. It can be done with volume and price. Both are effort reward. All right, take care. Bye.